Aku telah dibutuhkan.
I want to tell you a story. Somewhere in 2023, some 20 individuals took a plane at Schiphol Airport and they flew to Yogyakarta. I was one of them. Why? Because traveling puts me in touch with other people, other cultures, a different environment, other customs. And that shows me the relativity of my own worldview. This is important because one of the 21st century skills in our global world is cultural literacy. In short, the ability to observe other customs and habits without judgment. Indonesia is a captivating archipelago, nestled in Southeast Asia, with stunning landscapes, a rich cultural heritage and warm-hearted people. A true paradise was waiting for me to explore. Of course, I was not alone. Together with my wife Carla, I shared this experience. And of course, the other participants in this tour. Our journey took us to crowded towns where crossing was a real experience, but also on that quiet path where you hear nothing and no one, or in magnificent palaces where once the rich of their times lived and indulged in their wealth. Before that, I want to tell you more about our guide, Anton.
Hi, my name is Anton. My name is Stigman. I'm going to be your local guide.
Anton is one of the best guides we have ever had during our journeys. This is important because if you are going to a country for the first time, you need a good tour operator and a good guide. Whether you walk or bike, you encounter everyday life. People trying to make something out of their lives. In that, people from different cultures don't differ from us. But sometimes people do something that exceeds all expectations, especially when it lifts people out of their poverty. Kampung Wisata Yodipam used to be an impoverished environment, a slum area with deteriorating infrastructure and limited economic opportunities for its residents. Because of the unfavorable living conditions and limited economic prospects, residents struggled with poverty and a lack of opportunities for growth and development. Then, in 2016, 8 students came up with the brilliant idea of revitalizing the impoverished neighborhood and turning it into a vibrant and picturesque place. Nowadays, it's a tourist attraction in Milan, inviting visitors to explore and capture memorable selfies. The colorful walls of the houses were designed to attract many people and tourists. Just look for yourself. When you think of Indonesia, surely the rice fields come to mind first. Rice is the basic food source for most Indonesians. It is consumed daily and often forms the main meal. Rice consumptions per person varies, but the average is around 120 kilograms per year. There are regions where you can have about 3 harvests a year. Most of Indonesia's rice production comes from small-scale farmers using traditional farming methods. However, modern farming techniques and technologies are increasingly being introduced to improve the yields. In Indonesia, the modernization of rice production methods and the use of modern tools like chemical fertilizers and insecticides have both positive and negative effects on the environment. Using modern insecticides can harm non-targeted organisms like pollinators and natural pest enemies, disrupting ecosystems. But it does give a higher yield, and you have to feed the people. Now here we see that each solution is often the cause of a new problem. It sometimes appears that there are more questions than answers. In Belgium or the Netherlands, you buy food, spices, drinks and the like at a store. I always find it enlightening to see where things come from. What is the origin of our food and our spices?
Like outlet and who come coklat ya dildukan proses langer ya tidak beginnen two soorten koffie is bekend Robusta and Arabica and then het verschillen tussen Robusta Arabica lokasi Arabica ya klaar is, dan di malen and then gunen and skin di under. Spesial mesin ya, otomatis.
Automatisch.
Ya, betul.
Nou, doe maar een paar bladen.
This time.
That's the...
Dit is moeilijk proses ya, bestauw. Na bestauw wachten 2-3 maanden become stalk like this.
Die kan je hier kopen in...
Daar, hè?
Gewoon straks even kopen.
dat komt nog.
Ja, nee,
Wij hebben alles gezien.
ja, nee, dat weet ik heel. 100 zakjes
Dan
kopen.
kom ik zo meteen ongetwijfeld langs de winkel.
From physical food to spiritual food. The Indonesian is a spiritual person, and during our travels we encountered different religions. The Islam has greatly influenced Indonesia. Today, Indonesia has the world's largest Muslim population. There are though some concerns about the influence of Saudi Arabia that follows a stricter interpretation. Only the future will reveal how that works out. In our trip we did not visit any mosques, but everywhere we heard the call to prayer, even in the middle of the night, sometimes for more than an hour. You can think all kind of things about this, but praying 5 times a day, doing it together with all your fellow believers, that must somehow give a strong feeling of connection. Something I think that we have lost in the West. Where Islam loudly proclaims the word and calls for prayer, Hinduism displays images and colors. The Hindus, unlike the Islamists who believe in one God, believe in many that are all manifestations of the one. Although I'm not religious myself, I think that is a wise thought. Our first encounter with Hinduism was the Prambanan temple complex, an ancient Hindu temple located in central Java.
Every day offering in
Yeah.
my house. We have small temple in
Yes.
my house.
Yes. Yeah.
Everybody is
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, outside.
Outside
Yes.
also, yeah.
Yeah.
On Bali, we went to another temple, much quieter than the one in Java. One of the things that touched me deeply during visiting this temple, and which is very topical in these days of apologizing for the past, was a picture in one of their temples. A Dutchman depicted in a Hindu temple. In this way, the Dutch presence in Indonesia was made a part of the temple history. Not to condemn, but to preserve it. Our first encounter with Buddhism is the Borobudur in Java.
De één stuk grootste boeddhistische tempel van de wereld. Want Borobudur tempel bedekt 15.000 vierkante meter. Of 1,5 hectare area, alleen het gebouw van de tempel.
Our local guide explains everything in a lot of words, and before you can realize, you forget the information provided. The Borobudur is a massive stone temple built in the 9th century. It is constructed in the shape of a mandala, representing the Buddhist concept of the universe. The base represents the earthly realm, while the upper levels depicts the realms of desire, form, formlessness leading to enlightenment. This enlightenment is represented by the central stupa. Walking among the Buddhas makes you realize that you have truly arrived at the sacred place. If Islam is the religion of words, and that whether you like it or not, you have to listen at any time of the day to the holy words. Is Hinduism that of an endless procession of images in search of the question of who is this God anyway? Buddhism tells us, become silent. In Bali, we could experience this. This is not a place to make selfies, but one to reflect on oneself. This is the Brahma Vihara Arama, the largest Buddhist temple on Bali. Buddhism taught me that everything is an illusion. Prosperity and adversity, life and death all take place in our perception. And I find that a calming thought. We experienced that peace in, shall I say, the garden of silence. A great way to experience the country is to walk through it. For us, flatlanders, the rolling landscapes are breathtaking on several levels at once. When you walk in a group, there are always people who, they say, want to walk their own pace. Gradually, a long stretch ribbon of walkers forms. The first ones get to the top out of breath, and some of the slow ones drop out and turn back. When I walk in a group, I try to support the slow ones. That has two advantages. I get less tired, and I see and enjoy the happiness of the fellow travelers who have reached the top, because I slow down.
nomadic life.
Where we in our Western world are surrounded by modern technology, the average Indonesian uses much simpler tools. One might ask, does modern technology makes us that much happier? The German philosopher Albert Borgmann talks about attentive or focal activities, something you see very clearly in this weaving woman. Borgmann argues that the restoration and cultivation of focal activities in our lives are crucial for finding fulfillment and genuine engagement. He encourages individuals to actively resist the dominance of modern technology and seek out opportunities for meaningful, embodied experiences that enrich their lives and promote a deeper connection with the world around them. Enough spirituality and philosophical reflection. Now it's time for some tourism stuff.
Nasi goreng mami sate.
No, I don't have.
Of course, we had been tempted to do things that make us feel like children again for a while.
4 times and then 2, 5. After from here.
You can also go by the thousands to watch the sunrise over the Bromo volcano at the same time. We saw a lot and we did a lot. The last few days were to rest on a tropical island. Indonesia was a wonderful journey. We saw a lot, we did a lot, we learned a lot, and we rested.